Alrighty, how's it going everyone? Texas Man here, back with another video. I hope that you, of course, are having a wonderful day. If you guys would, please give this video a thumbs up if you guys do enjoy it. Subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit that bell notification button. Select all for all notifications so you guys don't miss out on future content here on the channel. I cover movies, TV shows, and of course, tabletop games. And over at Twitch, Douglas447, I stream there at least once a week. Currently, I've been doing a lot of Splitgate 2. And next week, with the launch of Destiny 2 Edge of Fate DLC, I will be covering that a lot. So make sure you guys are followed so you guys don't miss out on that content. I also, from time to time, will cover things such as Battlefield, Halo, and other FPS/RPG-like related games I'm planning on in the future. I'm going to be covering Helldivers 2, Delta Force, and Gears of War Reloaded. So look forward to that stuff. And of course, if you guys miss out on that stuff, I do try my best to import my Twitch streams here onto YouTube for gameplay replay so you guys can watch it if you want there. In this video, we're going to be talking spoilers, positives, and negatives, talking about Jurassic World Rebirth. A lot of people keep calling it Jurassic World Afterbirth, which kind of makes more sense in my opinion. This film came out here in 2025. This is Jurassic World 4, or what a lot of people like myself want to keep just calling it, Jurassic Park 7. And unfortunately, I want to be very clear with you. When you're 7 movies deep into a franchise, you have to do something unique. You have to do something groundbreaking. You need to do something innovative to justify your existence. If you guys did not watch my Jurassic World Dominion review, you guys knew for a fact, I'm going to tell you for a fact that I think Jurassic World needed to stop with Jurassic World Dominion. Not only was that movie horrible, and it basically wasted legacy characters just being there for the sake of being there, the plot for Jurassic World kind of was concluded. This movie is trying to be a cherry on top of cake, but it's not a good cherry. This movie is more of a corporate forced movie rather than something that felt inspired to be created. Like, there is nothing in this movie that feels like, they really wanted to make this film. Nothing about this feels, oh, I'm so excited I get to make another Jurassic Park movie. Nothing about this feels like there was passion and energy and joy and excitement put behind it. Everything feels corporate forced. This movie 100% is pointless, and it is dumb. It is stupid. I nearly fell asleep while watching this in the theater. I saw this in a laser ultra room at my local theater. For those of you who don't know what that means, basically it means you get a 4K screen with Dolby Atmos surround sound. And I nearly fell asleep. Like, this movie makes me wonder if Fantastic Four, First Steps, and the upcoming Superman movie by James Gunn are actually going to be good. I'm actually hoping that those movies are good, and I'm scared that they're not going to be. And what's terrible, at the time of recording this video, this movie's making money. This movie's making money. And there is, of course, a gigantic block between critics and general audiences. And I've talked to a lot of my coworkers, friends, and family, and they're like, oh, I love this movie. And then I've talked to some of my coworkers, friends, and family, and they're like, oh, this movie was horrible. It was disappointing. It was a nothing burger. And that's what this movie is. It's a nothing happens. Nothing in this movie happens. Nothing in this movie matters. This movie, it is pointless, mind shut off, mind-numbing dumbness for nearly 2.5 hours long. Okay, this movie's like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It feels longer because nothing is happening. There's no joy. There's no excitement. There's really no tension. Even with the horror and action moments, you're like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen because we haven't gotten to this scene because of the trailer. Spoilers! Like, literally, if you've watched the trailer, you've seen about 80% of the movie. That is a problem. They literally show you the best parts of the movie in the trailer. Like, a lot of the action sequences and whatnot, they show you in the trailer. The one with the Mosasaurus and Spinosaurus is the first decent one. The one with the T-Rex, it almost looks like Godzilla size, with the raft scene from the book. And then the finale with the D-Rex. Yeah. I don't count the one with the pterodactyl thing because that felt like a side quest almost. This movie feels like a video game. Like, this movie feels like it was meant to be a video game script and they just made it into a movie. That's how, like, mind-numbingly dumb and boring it is. It's like, hey, we're going to literally island with NPCs and little side quests, but no, we're going to condense it into a movie, and it just doesn't work. I was waiting constantly for this movie to actually start. Like, you know for a fact that something in a movie or show happens, and it kickstarts the events of the film. There's not a moment in this movie that, like, kickstarts the events. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, when the boat gets wrecked by the Spinosauruses and Mosasaur, that's when the movie happens, you know, when all the remaining characters are on Dinosaur Island. And I'm calling it Dinosaur Island because I really don't care what site it is for the Jurassic franchise lore. It's just Dino Island for the sake of keeping it simple. Because this movie, I guess, tries to retcon Jurassic Park 3. Don't ask me why, but yeah. Yeah. I was constantly waiting for stuff to happen. I was disappointed. I'm gonna say this last thing for this point. I was disappointed. Like, I thought this movie was going to be something grand and spectacular and innovative, and this movie just is not. This movie needs to just go extinct. Like, and what's weird is, like, this movie isn't even supposed to, like, kickstart a new trilogy. It's just supposed to be a one-off. And I'm like, why? Like, why? Like, literally, if you don't watch this movie and you just watch Jurassic Park, you're good. If you just watch Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, you're good. If you watch Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, and you don't watch this, you're still good. Like, even the fact that they brought back people that helped write and direct the original, and they have scenes from the book, this movie's just pointless. There's nothing in this movie that's exciting. Now, while this film does take place after Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, this movie basically opens with a recap, and it makes this movie state the fact that basically all the dinosaurs are dead, or they're dying, and they're isolated, and the few remaining dinosaurs, they're on... The only way they can survive is on the equator, which makes it so that if you don't watch or you don't remember the past 3 films, you're going to be able to watch this completely fine, because, like, Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt's characters, they're not in this movie whatsoever. They're not even mentioned. The only legacy character that is mentioned in this entire movie is Alan Grant. And I'm just like, okay, that's nice, but, like, that's it. The dinosaurs in this movie, they're not special. Like, the dinosaurs in this movie, they don't even act like dinosaurs. They're just monsters that people run away from, and they kill people for the plot. Like, they just kill people so there's a death toll. And there's not even that many people that die. Like, there's one guy with some special gun. He gets killed by a Spinosaurus. There's a chick that gets eaten by another Spinosaurus in the dumbest way possible once they crash onto the island on the beach. There's a guy that gets eaten by a pterodactyl. The corporate douchebag of the movie gets killed by the D-Rex. That's it. 4 people in this movie die. That's it. And I wanted a lot more too, honestly. I really did. I was just surprised. The writing in this movie is completely dumb and it makes no sense. Like, they state the fact that the dinosaurs cannot survive outside of the equator because they can't breathe the air because of climate change, and we as humans have just been polluting the air, so messaging. So, you know, they can't breathe the air that's away from the equator, But this, like 8-year-old girl that's dealing with PTSD, she wants to adopt and take this baby Triceratops away from the island and take it home with her. And I'm just like, somebody in this entire group want to tell this 8-year-old kid that's dealing with PTSD with the death of her mom that you take this dinosaur away from Dino Island, or just the equator in general, guess what happens? The dinosaur will die! Ah! It's lazy and it's stupid writing. Like, the writers, it's like this movie has a bunch of different writers, and there's no consistency whatsoever. Like, how do you write in a major plot point in a movie, and then halfway through your movie, you forget about it? Like, did you do your homework on your script? Do you know how to write a script? Like, when I was writing my short novels when I was in high school and college, I made sure I had little bullet points, so I would make sure that while I was writing my little short novels, I wouldn't miss out and forget a major key information. And if I did, the people that were checking my book would be like, this doesn't make any sense because you stated this earlier. You need to fix that. This movie apparently did not get a writing check whatsoever. There was no editors whatsoever in the thought process of this movie. The horror elements, they're basically a mixture of Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic World. There is basically also 2 plots in this movie, and you could argue, okay, well, a lot of Jurassic Park films have had 2 plots going on. Yeah, the problem is that you notice it very clearly because they don't feel interwoven. They don't feel like they impact each other at all. Like, there's a plot about the mercenaries going to Dino Island to get DNA to get a cure for cancer, and that makes sense. And then when they're on their way, they meet this family of DEI people, and those people, basically, their whole plot in the movie is they get brought onto the mercenaries' boat. They're there while they're getting chased by the Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus. They get to Dino Island, they get chased by the T-Rex in the raft scene, and then they get to the finale scene back with the mercenaries after they get split up. And, yeah, the mercenaries don't even deal with the T-Rex and the raft thing. They're separate. And so, at the end of the movie, the family and the mercenaries meet up and they deal with these not freaky velociraptors in a kitchen scene from Jurassic Park 1 and the D-Rex. And then everybody goes home. Like, and because of that, you have different editing going on, so it's constantly going back and forth between the mercenaries and the family. The mercenaries and the family. The mercenaries and the family. And it's like, they never come together until the last, 10, 15 minutes of the movie. And even when that happens, I'm just like, I don't care if the family lives or dies. I actually want the family to die so there's a higher kill count. I just don't care. I truly do not care about the family. Literally, if you removed the family from this movie because they're so pointless, it would have changed nothing. Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten your T-Rex raft scene. You'd have to, have the mercenary group have to deal with that in some capacity, or just remove it and the movie would be half an hour shorter. But, yeah, who cares? Next thing I want to talk about is the characters in this film. There are no characters in this movie. There are no characters. Even the 8-year-old girl with her little baby Triceratops, which is basically Jurassic World Rebirth's version of Grogu from Star Wars The Mandalorian, product placement. Even those 2 people, or characters, they're not characters. Okay? None of them are interesting. Absolutely nobody has an arc. Nobody is different at the end of this movie compared to how the film begins. Now, you might argue, if you've seen the movie, Scarlett Johansson's character goes from being a mercenary dealing with PTSD because she lost somebody on a training mission or before the movie even starts. And at the end of the movie, she's like, I want to give away the cure to cancer for free and I make no money off of it. Now you might be thinking, that's a character arc. She had a little bit of development. Yeah, but how it's executed in the movie makes you feel like I don't care. You don't care that she had this change of heart because it doesn't feel compelling. You don't get to dive in with her character. she's always just stoic. She's always cold-faced. She's just like, woo! Like, I don't care about her character. Same with everybody else in the movie. Everyone's just like, Dinosaur Island, ooh. I'm like, I don't, none of the characters I care about, okay? Also, I want to talk about real quick. Why is this movie called Jurassic World Rebirth? It's meaningless. There is no grand Jurassic World implications. Nothing in this movie is... Everything for about 80% of this movie is condensed on Dino Island. And nothing is reborn. There is nothing that is rebirth. There is no... Like, Google what the meaning of rebirth is. And... Slight spoilers. None of that happens in this movie, okay? There's also a lot of pointless nostalgia from the original, and nothing new. Like I said, they have a raptor kitchen scene in this film. It's ripped straight from the original movie. You've got a abomination-like dinosaur that's chasing our characters, even though it really doesn't show up until like the last 15 minutes of the movie, and it really doesn't do anything. That's all that impactful. They bring back the musical moments from John Williams' score, and it's just out of place. So, yeah. There's just nothing in this film that is new. There's nothing in it that's thought-provoking, unlike the original Jurassic Park, or even Jurassic World, or even The Lost World. There's nothing thought-provoking. Like, you can have an action dinosaur movie, but have something that's thought-provoking, and there's nothing in this movie that's thought-provoking. The biggest stupid thing in the film is the fact that a candy wrapper gets sucked into an air vent, and that is what causes the safety protocols for the D-Rex to fail. Not joking. A Snickers bar is what causes the events of this movie to happen. A Snickers bar gets sucked into an air tube. This is the level of writing we have come to in 2025 when it comes to these types of movies. Oh my god. The D-Rex and the other hybrids, they're basically on screen for like less than 10-15 minutes of this 2-hour and 10-minute runtime, and like they're not special. They're really not. Like the D-Rex, it could have just been a T-Rex for what it does in the movie. And these raptor/pterodactyl hybrid things, they're just raptors. They really don't even fly around. They're nothing special. Like, they just don't have any impact, unlike Jurassic World's Indominus Rex or Jurassic World Dominion's Giganotosaurus. There's nothing memorable about them in this movie. Things constantly happen, and they just happen easily, just so the next thing can happen. And it just leads to predictability. You know exactly who and how characters will die. Like, you can just see it coming a mile away. The ending is also very anticlimactic and very predictable. Like, I was expecting like some sort of like Dino v Dino battle or, something unique, and nothing happens. Like, all the characters, they get to a boat, one of the characters has to sacrifice himself so the boat can get launched so they don't all get eaten, and the boat gets launched, everyone gets on the boat, and they sail off into the sunset, the end. That is literally the movie. It's nearly identical to Jurassic Park 3's ending, but there's less emotion and less impact and less stakes involved. So, while this movie isn't as bad as Fallen Kingdom or Dominion, at least those films tried to do something unique and interesting, but this film, Rebirth, does not. And that's what I'm going to have to give it a 3 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree on anything I've said in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Peace out.